Good morning, everybody. It's time for another early morning book review. And today we will be reviewing The Dreamer Lost in Terror. There's the dreamer, there's the terror. So let me lay it out for you because this was an interesting read. I gave the 3 stars on Goodreads. It didn't finish as well as I wanted it to finish, but it was really one of my most interesting Gothics that I've ever read because it actually referenced sex. And not only did it reference sex outright, but it referenced lesbianism and homosexuality and in not the best way. Not the best way. So let me lay it out for you. Our main character is Moira, M-O-I-R-A, and I think that's how you say it. Anyway, that's what I call her. And she lives with her aunt in a very unhappy life. Well, she's a school teacher, and she does like being a school teacher. She likes being around all the kids and everything like that, so she likes that. But she lives this unhappy life with her aunt, and she's lived there for a long time. And when she was about 16, when she was about 16, she went to a carnival with a friend, a boyfriend, her first boyfriend, and he tries to take advantage of her. He knocks her off her bike, and he tries to take advantage of her. And it was a little bit of a graphic scene of a near assault. He doesn't actually assault her. She gets away, but she has some PTSD issues from that, which I thought was really pretty progressive for 1976. This is copyright 1976. So she, of course, gets the letter, the notorious letter that she has inherited part of this beautiful old mansion and lots of money from someone that she doesn't know. So, of course, she goes there, and it's called, what's it called? The Cloisters? I don't know what it's called. It's not relative to the story. But it used to be, this manor house used to be owned by these nuns who have had to move to a monastery just down the street, and they are cheesed off about it because this big old house used to be theirs. And at the bottom, in the basement of the house, there are nuns, burials, graves, catacombs, whatever you want to call it. And there's an altar down there with lights and everything like that. Not lights, like disco lights, but like candles and stuff like that. So anyway, she inherits this house with her half-brother, Willard. And we come to find out that her mother was secretly married to this guy by the name of Hay. They have short names. This guy by the name of Hay, when her mother was an actress. And Willard's mother was the actual wife of Hay. And so they're half brother and sister, and they figure that out. But one of the things we have to contend with first, through the first half of the book, is who is going to win the prize of the virginity. Who is going to get to be the first one? Will it be Guy, who is the principal of the little school that she teaches at, and who's very dependable and very nice and likes her a lot? Or will it be Ham, short for Hammond, who is this dashing character who's a friend of the family's that she has just moved in with? Well, who do you think? I know who I was rooting for, but it ends up, and this is all spoilers because you'll never find this book, you'll never read it. It's Ham. Ham gets the virginity. And so right after he deflowers her, he starts treating her like a second-class citizen, which again, I thought was very progressive for 1976. What was not progressive for 1976 is that we have a homosexual character and we have a lesbian character. And those are the two bad guys. Now, they're bad guys on different, like, they don't know each other as a bad guy, but they're bad people. And I thought that was very offensive, very offensive. Yeah, it was almost so offensive that I almost put it down, but I did want to find out how it finishes. So you gotta hear this part. So she keeps seeing, so she has this dream where Moriah has this dream where she's always going up to this cottage in the dark and everything like that. And there's a spooky nun, protecting the gate to the cottage and won't let her into the cottage. And so she always has this dream about the cottage and the nun. And in every dream she gets a little closer and the nun gets a little spookier and everything like that. When she moves into the big house, she keeps feeling the presence of the nun. And like she'll see out of the corner of her eye the nun walking past. She'll hear the click of the rosary beads. There's one incident where she is looking down in the basement. She's standing at the top of the stone stairs and you just knew it was coming. And she felt a push on her back after hearing the click of the rosary beads, and boom, down she went the stairs. Had to spend a couple of nights in the hospital. But anyway, we've got Mother Teresa, and it's actually Mother Teresa, and she has made a deal with Hay, who was the father of Moriah and of Willard, that she would take care of Moriah's mother, because Moriah's mother, when she was pregnant with Moriah, was involved in a terrible accident where she was hit by a taxi and became blind. Hit by a taxi and loses her sight. But the baby is born, she's pregnant, the baby is born, and then they ship the baby off to the mom's sister. And the mom, who is this actress who is now blind because she was hit by the taxi, is in the cottage on the grounds, but she totally rejects the baby. She never wants to see the child. She never wants to see Moriah. She never wants to have any communication with her, nothing like that. So our lesbian character turns out to be the one who kills one member of the family, and our homosexual character turns out to be the one who is convinced to drive the taxi in order to hit Moriah's mother. Now, that's basically it. We also have a nun who, I think her name is Mary Margaret, it's either Mary Margaret or Mary Frances, who keeps seeing the specter of the Virgin Mary. And she is the one who is sneaking around the house at night because she feels like it is her duty to get the house back, that's what the Virgin Mary wants her to do, is to get the house back for all of the nuns, so they don't have to go to the monastery down the street, which I thought was very surprising to me, because so we have this spiritual vision going on. We have lesbianism, we have homosexuality, we have who's going to, deflower our main character. But who wins in the end? What's really interesting in the end is that, now I'm going to spoil it for everybody. So Ham, remember, the deflower, she is in love with Ham. She is totally in love with Ham. And Moriah just thinks that he's a big protector, and she's very weak. She's a very weak character. She does a lot of crying, and she does a lot of fainting, and she's very weak. She's not a very strong Gothic character. And there have been some very strong women Gothic characters, which I should do a video on that. But anyway, he gets shot, and he gets killed. at the very end, and she's just distraught and is absolutely distraught. So she goes back to Guy, who has always been there, has always been faithful to her, has always been very supportive of her and everything like that, and just announces that she will marry him now. So weird? Yeah, I'd say it's a little weird. So I gave it a 3 stars, but it was the first one I'd read that really had, and I'm not even talking about overtones, like it was exactly, I mean, people were identifying themselves as lesbian or homosexual. We had a lot of talk of the PTSD that she had from the near assault. Yeah, it was really eye-opening, and I think it was a Gothic that was meant to almost not make fun, but almost counteract other Gothics that were coming out at the time, because no Gothic I have read from these periods have ever talked about virginity or have talked about rape or have talked about anything like that. And so I found it really fascinating. I found it a really fascinating read. The Dreamer, Lost in Terror. It reads the back, Colton House. Colton House is what it was. It reads, the back reads like a typical Gothic, everything like that, but it's not. It's not a typical Gothic. And I think this is a lesson to all of us that we should keep reading, because you never know what hidden gems you're going to come up with. Well, I have to get ready for work, and I don't have too much else to say. I'm so behind on my tags. I know everybody's like, oh, we tag you, you don't do anything. So I also want to keep you up on my writing. I wrote this week for an hour and a half, and I got some good stuff, some stuff I'm very proud of. And I will tell you about that in my next little writing video. But other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will check you later.